You said you weren't gonna cry, John. Just don't. You can do this. Hey neighbor, welcome back to Beyond ARTV. My name is John, and Apple has officially put the knife in the iPod's back, ending its life, its production cycle, bringing a classic product to a halt, something that dominated the market throughout the early part of the 21st century. It was a game changer, it was a huge selling point for Apple, and it changed them completely as a company when Steve Jobs introduced the iPod in October 2001. For over 20 years, the iPod was produced, and it was down to just one model left. And now Apple has said, the music lives on, which is also another way of saying, by the way, the iPod, we're not making that anymore because we're not making money on it. It doesn't make sense. And from a business perspective, I get it, but I can't help but reminisce over a product that was definitely not only a part of my life, but I think so many millions of us, because we felt connected to the music that we were downloading from iTunes or ripping from LimeWire and throwing onto this little device. It was like the first time ever that people were carrying around something this small in their pocket, and it held over 1,000 songs, and as time went on, it became more and more. This is just a little 2 gigabyte model because this is the only one that I have left that I could show you. Unfortunately, my last iPod Classic was stolen out of my car in, I think, 2017. And the worst part is, I had just bought that one brand new off of eBay for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I made the investment, and it was stolen right after that. I was replacing my old iPod Classic, and sad times ensued. I have a lot of fun memories with the iPod, not just the iPod Nano. I had a Shuffle, I had an iPod Touch that was really my first smart device ever, and I would find myself playing games like Tap Tap Revenge in like the early 2010s for hours on end as we went on a family vacation, and I tried to escape in the back seat by listening to my own music and doing my own thing. This little device is something that brought joy to a ton of people because it made music more accessible. It birthed the next generation of music fans. And now for Apple to be coming through and saying, the music lives on, except the iPod Touch is only going to be available while supplies last. That means that they haven't made any more. They probably haven't had to make any more in quite some time because the iPod's not a seller. It wouldn't really make sense to buy an iPod Touch unless you're buying it for maybe your child or somebody else that you want them to have some sort of device to stay in touch, but not too much freedom at the same time. The iPod was revolutionary not because it was the first MP3 player ever, but because it was the first device to hold as many songs as it did, about 1,000 plus at launch, with 10 hours of battery life. It also had the scroll wheel on the old iPods. It was something that made navigating your music library so fun, easy, accessible. You could put games, TV shows, movies on there. The iPod did it all, and it was just a ton of fun. I bet you all remember this commercial.
Wind me up, put me down, stop me up and watch me go.
I saw that and I had to have one. I had to have it. And I remember I started saving up these local points at like a local grocery store. It was called Lowe's Foods, and they would give out rewards if you saved up a certain amount of their green points. And I saved up and I got this iPod. We had to go shopping for like a year or two to actually get there. It felt like that long, maybe it wasn't. I believe when the first ever iPod launched, it was around the $400 price point, but now the iPod Touch, the last generation ever that's still available at the time of recording this video, it's only about $200, so I could see it making sense for people, maybe why you would want to have it, or even just if you yourself want to have a device that just sort of connects you, but not really at the same time. You can still kind of easily shut yourself away from the world and focus on your music, your podcast, whatever it is. I get it, and that's a good option. While I'm still an iPhone user, I'm not really the Apple guy that I used to be. I just feel like all of these devices, like the Apple Watch and the AirPods, a lot of it is just really style over substance because there's much better alternatives to pretty much everything that Apple makes out there. I'm just curious to pick you guys' brains. What do you think about the death of the iPod, the end of an era for something that Apple started and captured the market with, took the world by storm, The marketing was super effective. Everybody I knew had one, or else something that basically tried to emulate one, like a Zune. But anyways, let me know you guys' journey with digital music, with buying an iPod, whatever device you had. I mean, I had my share of them. I know I went through at least like 5 different iPods, and I even traded a few with friends. I had an MP3 player at one point too. I believe that's what I had before I got this one, or maybe right after this one, because I lost this for a little while. But the whole journey is just something that fascinates me, and a part of me is definitely sad. But at the same time, I was tired of seeing it on life support. I mean, I've been seeing articles dating back to like 2012 saying the iPod is on life support. It took a full another 10 years, a whole ass decade, baby. You couldn't kill it in 2012. Here we are in 2022. It served its purpose, and we've ushered into another era. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe if you happen to be new around here. If you want to see me talk about the death of iTunes and everything, and talk about Apple a little bit more, then tap this card here, or tap here for a recent video. Socials in the description, and I'll be back soon with more on Beyond ARTV.